Well, ladies and gentlemen, the time is here. The weighing is done. The talking is done. Kell Brook has made the weight. 146.8. Right on the limit. Errol Spence, 146.4, 146.5. Again, right inside the limit. Both guys look really good. Both look torn up. And they both look mentally prepared. Kell Brook looks incredibly focused. Incredibly focused. He had that same look in his eyes when he faced Sean Porter over in Carson, California. He's ready. And from what I've seen in this build-up, I think I'm ready to make my prediction. I like both guys. I think something that y'all have been saying about Errol Spence, you've been talking so much trash about it, Kell. You've been bigging up Errol Spence, saying things about sparring and how he's like, the biggest puncher of all time and how he could beat Golovkin and stuff like this. I know we're not everybody saying this stuff, but the fact of the matter is I've heard a lot of shit on both sides, but a lot of shit coming from out of Errol Spence's fans, man. And, I like Errol Spence, and I think some of the shit you've been saying is making me feel badly about Errol Spence, and I don't want to do that because I think he's a good fighter. I think he's good for the sport. He's a nice guy. He's respectful. I think recently he's been saying some things. It's just hype for the fight, I know, but some out of character. But he's building the fight up, and that's what boxing's about. So let's let all that go. In reality, I think this fight comes down to a couple of things. One of which I think has been answered today. I think Kell Brook, he has done the weight better for this fight than he's ever done the weight for welterweight. I think he knew after the Golovkin loss that he wanted to go back down to welterweight. I truly do believe that, and you can't blame the guy for chasing fights with Manny Pacquiao and Amir Khan. But the fact of the matter was, I think he knew. He recognized he wasn't a middleweight. I think he realized that how good he felt in the ring against welterweights was he was the bigger guy at welterweight, right? He was the Golovkin at welterweight. You know what I mean? He took the role of Golovkin when they fought. You know, Kell Brook was Golovkin when he fought, let's say, well, Kevin Bizier, Frankie Gavin, Senchenko. He took that role. He even dominated Sean Porter in there. Sean Porter, probably one of the most strongest welterweights there is. He's a short guy, so his center of balance is really low. He's powerful. Brook was able to manhandle him in there. Okay, so I think Brook wanted that. I think he's been training to get back down to welterweight. I think he's been training for like 5 months, maybe even longer, for this bout, man. 5, maybe even 6 months. What I'm hearing. So I think he knew, and I think we've seen him progressively come down in weight, and I've never seen him do that before when fighting at welterweight. He's never come down so gradually as he has for this one, and I think he's made it, and I think he looks healthy, and he seems alert and coherent. So I think Brook has made the weight. That question I think has been answered. The second factor in this fight is experience. Okay, and Kell Brook has more experience than Errol Spence. Okay, he has more fights. Okay, his early career, you say what you like, but what is more relevant is what he's done in his last 10 fights. Okay, he's boxed overseas before. He boxed Luis Galaza, okay, over in Atlantic City. He then came back and he took the title from Sean Porter. He's been in with Golovkin. He's been in with a former champion Senchenko. He's been in a really good amateur, and you guys write this guy off, but he's been in a really, really good world amateur champion in Frankie Gavin. Now, people love to discredit Frankie Gavin. He lost a close decision to Leonard Bundu. Okay, a close decision to Leonard Bundu. And you all want to tell me how good Leonard Bundu is. Okay, you want to tell me how good he was when he boxed against Errol Spence. You want to tell me how good he was when he boxed against Keith Thurman. Okay, you're putting Leonard Bundu up on a fucking pedestal. But then when it comes to giving props to one of Kell's opponents who went the distance with Bundu in a close fight, you want to discredit him. So think about what you're saying. Be even. Be realistic with your opinions, okay? So based on those two factors, based on the experience, and based on the way that Kell Brook has made the weight for this fight, and the way I see the styles gelling, okay? Sean Porter really had the best style to beat Kell Brook, you know? Constant pressure, constant aggression, on him, on him, on him, you know? But Brook, he loves the distance. He loves the distance that Spence is going to want to maintain. Spence with his 1-2 jab, looking for that big left. Brook's going to see that, man. He telegraphs his punches. Kell Brook does not telegraph his punches, and he is an excellent. He reads the fight game so well. Kell Brook moves his body, moves his head, and he sets up his shots beautifully. Okay, he's a beautiful counter puncher, and that is nothing. You cannot say that about Errol Spence. He is not a counter puncher. All right. So there you go. There's 3 factors. I'm picking Kell Brook by unanimous decision in Sheffield, England. Now, would I be surprised if Errol Spence won? I don't think I'd be massively surprised. I can't see him winning a decision. And that's not to say that he can win a decision over there in Sheffield, but I just don't feel like he's capable of winning a decision against a fighter like Kell Brook. Because Kell Brook will land clean punches. He will land punches in bunches. He will move, he will slip, he will parry, he will move between orthodox, he will move to southpaw, he will tie Errol Spence up. He's got the experience of the big stage, okay? Errol Spence doesn't, all right? And the fact of the matter is, we've never seen Errol Spence in with a top 5 welterweight. We've never seen him with a top 10 welterweight. We've never seen him box overseas, and we've never seen him box